It's 2 in the morning. Your body is tired, but your mind just won't stop. You keep replaying that awkward thing you said in a meeting 3 years ago. You're reading too deeply into a text message. You're imagining worst-case scenarios about something that hasn't even happened yet. Sound familiar? The problem is you're not actually solving anything. You're just spinning in circles. And the more you tell yourself to stop thinking about it, the louder the thoughts become. But what if overthinking doesn't mean your mind is broken? What if you're not weak or failing? Overthinking is not your identity. It's a habit. And for many of us, it's also a spiritual battle for peace. In this video, I want to share a simple 3-step process that can help shut down overthinking fast. Not by trying harder, but by learning how to surrender differently. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's about learning how to stop the mental spiral and come back to peace. Before we get into the 3 steps, we first need to understand why overthinking happens in the first place. A lot of people get frustrated with themselves because they can't just let it go. But the truth is, your mind thinks it's helping you. That's really what overthinking is. When life feels uncertain, your mind treats it like danger. A strange email from your boss, a delayed text reply, a difficult decision. Your brain sees uncertainty and immediately tries to solve it. So it keeps analyzing. What if this happens? What if I fail? What if they're upset with me? The mind keeps searching for certainty because it thinks certainty equals safety. But the problem is, no amount of overthinking can create peace. Only God can do that. And here's the frustrating part. The more you try to force the thoughts away, the stronger they become. It's like someone saying, whatever you do, don't think about a purple elephant. Suddenly, that's all you can think about. That's why scripture doesn't just tell us not to worry. It tells us what to do instead. It says to bring our worries to God through prayer. And while all this is happening, your inner critic usually joins in too. This is all my fault. I always mess things up. Something must be wrong with me. Now the worry becomes personal. It becomes part of your identity. And honestly, that's why advice like just think positive doesn't really help. Because overthinking is deeper than that. You can't think your way out of a thinking problem. You have to interrupt the cycle differently. And that's where this 3-step process comes in. This process is simple, practical, and easy to remember. The goal is not to control every thought. The goal is to stop believing every thought deserves your attention. The first step is awareness. The moment you notice yourself spiraling, stop and name what's happening. Say, I'm overthinking right now. This is a fear spiral. This is anxiety talking. You're creating space between yourself and the thought. Because when you're stuck in overthinking, the thoughts feel completely real. You don't think, I might fail. You think, I am going to fail. But the moment you label the spiral, you step back from it. The Bible talks about taking thoughts captive. That's what you're doing here. You're not arguing with the thought. You're not panicking over it. You're simply recognizing it for what it is. Sometimes I even say, this is fear, not faith. This thought is not from God. This is my mind trying to control everything. That small moment of awareness changes everything, because now you're no longer drowning in the storm. You're observing it. And honestly, that's where healing starts. Now that you've noticed the spiral, the next step is to get out of your head and back into the present moment. Overthinking pulls you into the future or the past, but peace is usually found in the present. One of the fastest ways to calm your mind is to reconnect with what's around you physically. A simple method is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste, As simple as it sounds, this helps pull your mind out of panic mode. Another powerful thing you can do is slow your breathing and pray while breathing. Breathe in slowly and think, I receive your peace. Breathe out slowly and think, I release my worries. That longer exhale helps calm your body, and when your body calms down, your mind starts calming down too. Then comes the second part of this step. Contain the worry. Instead of carrying it all day, give it a time and place. Tell yourself, I'm not solving this right now. I'll pray about it later with God. Maybe you choose 5 p.m. as your prayer time. So when the thought comes back, you gently remind yourself, not now, I'll bring this to God later. Then when that time comes, sit down, pray, journal, and release everything honestly to God. This is not avoidance, it's surrender. This last step is probably the most important one. Overthinking survives through inaction. Your mind keeps spinning because it thinks thinking is progress, but usually it's not progress, it's paralysis. So instead of staying stuck in thought, take one small action, not 10 steps, just one. For example, instead of, what if I fail this project? Do this. Open the document and write one sentence. Instead of, what if they're upset with me? Do this. Send a kind message asking for clarity. Instead of, my whole life is a mess. Do this. Clean one small area. The action itself may seem tiny, but that's not the point. The point is movement. Because faithful action breaks the cycle of rumination. It tells your mind, we're not stuck anymore. And something powerful happens when you move forward in faith instead of fear. Clarity starts coming. Most of the time, clarity doesn't come before action. It comes after action. Let's make this practical. Imagine you just finished a presentation and now you keep replaying one mistake you made. Here's what the process looks like. First, notice and capture. This is fear talking. I'm spiraling again. Second, surrender and contain. Take a few slow breaths. Ground yourself. Tell yourself, I'll pray about this later instead of replaying it all day. Third, shift to obedience. Ask yourself, what's one small thing I can do right now? Maybe it's replying to one email. Maybe it's getting back to work. Maybe it's simply standing up and taking a walk. That small action breaks the loop. Now, I do want to say something important here. If your anxiety feels overwhelming all the time and is seriously affecting your daily life, reaching out to a pastor, counselor, or doctor is not weakness, it's wisdom. Sometimes we need support, and that's okay. Overthinking is exhausting. It can feel like your own mind is working against you, but it doesn't have to control your life forever. The way out is not through more thinking. It's through awareness, surrender, and obedience. So remember the 3 steps. Notice and capture the thought loop. Surrender and contain the worry. Shift into one small step of action. You don't overcome overthinking by forcing your brain to be quiet. You overcome it by learning little by little that God can be trusted even in uncertainty. So the next time the spiral starts, don't panic. Don't fight it alone. Just walk through these 3 steps and see what happens. And when you do, come back and share your experience in the comments. Your story might encourage someone else who's struggling too. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content about faith, peace, and learning how to walk with God in everyday life. You are not powerless in this battle, and through God this pattern can change.